Sẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ó milẹ̀ títì ìkànnì ayé ń gbọ́ òun sẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ó milẹ̀ títì ìkànnì ayé ń gbọ́ òun sẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ó milẹ̀ títì.
Thank you so much for being there. You are connected to the right platform, to the right channel, to the right station. And this is the program you have been waiting for on Tuesday morning, where we load ourselves with economic, financial, and business information. Information that are aimed at helping you financially in your business, in your career. Truckload of information that will help you to understand the economic situation of what is happening in this country. We have brought it to you in bulk, in wholesales, in large scale. Eco Pointer is the program. Kolawole Kayode is the anchor. Success Radio is the platform. Appreciation to the management of this station for giving us the opportunity to help us be able to connect you from wherever you are. Connect us on Facebook. Just type in Success Radio Ibadan. And if you are connected to us already, help us to share it to your contact. Let them also be part of it. Why is this so important? Because economic information is not what just one person should have access to. Many people should be part of it so that everybody can benefit. In order to make profit, you cannot be the buyer and the seller at the same time. If you want to make profit, you cannot be the producer and the consumer at the same time. If you are the buyer and you are the seller, then you are not making profit. If you are the consumer and the producer, then you are not making profit. Somebody is going to sell, somebody else is going to buy, then there will be profit. Somebody is going to produce, another person is going to consume, then there will be profit. That's why we say help us to share the program to your contact. Let them also be part of it. Friends, relatives, and people in far places. This Tuesday, the 8th of August, 2023, 8823. The information they are here, the economic information reported all over the country by journalists, by reporters, we are bringing them to you for you to understand. That is what we stand for on this program, Eco Pointer. Number 1 today says Naira will bounce back. Who is saying Naira will bounce back? You will get to know. Is that a good information for you? Is that whatever it is? We are going to get the detail together. Remember, you can send your comments on this program and you can ask questions. Foreign exchange volatility, inflation to intensify in August. That may not be a very good news, and it may also be a good news to some people. Subsidy palliative NSC strike is over. Only Nigeria has no functioning refinery. Only Nigeria has no functioning refinery. Among who? Niger coup d'etat. Economic implication for Nigeria. As Nigerians are complaining concerning the economic decisions and policy of the Tinubu federal government, somebody else or some other people elsewhere, they are praising him. Who are they? We'll get to know. The president assures that one of the refineries in this country will come to operation in this year 2023. Now we'll go to the details of the information, the news, and we'll begin to relay it to ourselves and how it affects us individually and as businesses. Naira will bounce back. The CBN is saying the Nigerian national currency will bounce back, that the depreciation we are experiencing at the moment will not continue forever. It's not going to be a forever thing, because some other things are going to happen. Something else will help the Naira to be able to bounce back. And as we know, presently as we speak, the Naira had been depreciating and depreciating. Remember, in June this year, when the federal government led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that there will be no more different tiers of foreign exchange. What we used to have before, we used to have the first tier, the second tier, and like that. There used to be different foreign exchange markets in this country, whereby there will be official foreign exchange rate and the black market rate. So official one, people can get the dollar from the CBN, and the other one, they can get it elsewhere. The one they get through the CBN will be cheaper, while the one people get elsewhere will be, more costly. However, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu said it does not want that situation because it's like those who have advantage above others, like Yoruba will say, àwọn àparò tó gorí ebè, so to say. Those who have advantage maybe through because they know somebody, because they have influence one way or the other, they are the one that have been taking advantage of the different tiers of foreign exchange in this country. In fact, some of them will use their influence to go and buy dollar from CBN. That time maybe around 460, 450, 420, and they will take it out to go and sell to bureau de change and the sabo of this Nigeria and all the black markets, centers, and sell at 700, sell at 600, sell at 650 that time, without doing anything, without putting almost any labor. They are milking on the policy of the government, and it is having a bad effect on this country. So the government of Tinubu said that situation is going to stop, that the government is going to make sure that we have only a single market for everybody. Like Yoruba will say, Ateru Atomo, let the two of them buy the same rate. Yes. So that the government is going to have maintain a single rate for everybody, and there will not be the padding or the coverage or the support, so to say, of the naira, that the government will not be ensuring. The government will ensure a free float of the naira. The forces of demand and supply will determine the naira rate. Now, since June, when the CBN has started floating the naira, not fixing how much the exchange rate will be, the naira had been devaluing and depreciating against the dollar from 460 it used to be during the previous administration. As we speak, the naira had gone as much as about 800 naira to $1. And Nigeria being an import dependent economy. What do we mean? Most of the things we use, we buy in this country, a lot of them we import them. Even when the government says that we should not import rice, that we should eat the rice produced in Nigeria, go to our market, go to Oshodi, go to Gbagi, go to Bodija, go to market in Ekiti, in Ondo, in Igbo land, in Hausa land, in many places. Go to Lagos market. What rice do you find there? You find the imported one, the made in China, the made in India, the Thailand rice. That's what we have there. So much like the importation, and because we are import dependent and dollar rate has gone up, that is the reason prices of goods and services are on the high side since the beginning of this administration. But the CBN is telling us that they are giving us a message of hope. But how assuring is that hope? That the naira will bounce back, that the naira will begin to gain ground against the dollar. What does the CBN intend doing? Now, let's come into this. There is something that African countries are making efforts. They seem to be going towards that side. I'm only saying maybe that is part of what the CBN is trying to say. Yes, like the African countries, they seems to be going the direction of China and Russia. Going the direction of China and Russia. And if Russia, the money that is spent in China is the Chinese yuan. Now, the money that is spent in China, if China, internationally all over the world, most countries, the international currency that we use to do trade, to buy and to sell, is dollar. I mean the US dollar. In any country where you are, if you hold the US dollar in your hand, people will buy from you and they will sell to you. However, what African countries seems to be making effort towards doing is that China wants to be accepting its own currency in trading with other countries, especially Africans. If China will begin to accept its own currency, yes, it means that to buy things from China, previously Nigeria will always first go and buy dollar. Then we use the dollar to buy from China. And many of the things we use in this country, automobile parts, Okada parts, generator parts, engines, fan, electronics, camera, so many things. Maybe I will say except human being. Yes. It's almost like except human being is not brought from China to us. Oil, engine oil, so many things, including rice, including food, toothpick. So for us to buy those things from China, we always used to go and buy dollar first. Then we now use the dollar to buy from China. Now, China is saying that it's ready, is willing to collect its own national currency. If China will accept its own national currency, then Nigeria can directly exchange naira to Chinese currency. If we do that, then the pressure on dollar will come less. This is what we mean. The pressure on dollar, the demand for dollar is much. It could also be one of the reasons why the price of dollar is high. This is part of the economics we did in secondary school. Whenever there is high demand, price is likely to go up. So since everything we want to buy, we have to need dollar to buy it. But if the major country that sells to us is willing to accept another currency that is not dollar, then it will mean that we will not need to go and buy dollar again. What we need to buy is that currency. Then the pressure on dollar will come down. If the pressure of dollar comes down, how much we buy dollar will likely come down also. That is, instead of buying dollar at 800 naira, since most of our foreign exchange, international trade will no more be in dollar, by the time Nigeria is able to conclude that arrangement with China, it does mean that we will buy less of dollar. If we begin to buy less of dollar, then price at which we buy dollar will come down, maybe to 600 to a dollar, maybe to 500 to a dollar, maybe to 300 to a dollar. And you remember, at the beginning of this administration, in fact, during the campaign period, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said that the target of his administration is to bring down the exchange rate of the dollar to 300 first, then to 200 naira to a dollar. Maybe that is what the government is looking forward to. Maybe that is why CBN is saying naira will bounce back. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see what effort the government is going to do in this direction. But if the government is able to achieve it, it will be a lot of relief to us as Nigerians economically and for many businesses that we do. This information again is saying foreign exchange volatility, inflation to intensify in August. Inflation to intensify in August. Now, that is not a good news for Nigerians. It's not a good news for consumers, for business people. The meaning is that going by the current trend that we have, where prices, you buy something for 200 naira today, by the time you get there tomorrow, they say it's 220. What you bought for 500 last week, by the time you get there today, they say it's 520, or they say it's 600 naira. So prices are just skyrocketing by the day, increasing and increasing. Now, analysts are saying there is also likelihood that prices will still go up in August. Now, for consumers, it's not a good news. For fixed income earners, the salary earners, those who are working in private firms, those who are working with government, the civil servants, who earn a particular amount at the end of the month, it's not a good news, because within the month of August, their income might not go up. But this may be a good news to people who already have the stock in their store and they add that the price will go up. It means what they bought for 500, they plan to sell it for 550, but because price has gone up, they can now sell for 600. To them, it may be a good news, but to some others, it may not be a good news. The government had decided subsidy palliative NSC strike is over. There are some provisions, promises that the government had already given out, and considering the discussion between the presidency and the labor group, the labor unions, it appears the labor, the workers, the civil servants, they are likely to get some palliative that will stand as relief to them as we speak. It will be, maybe they will be the first to receive it. Anyway, it is the civil servants who are closer to the government than the rest of Nigerians who are not in government. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. All Nigerians, yes. Some are in government, yes. Now, for those who are not in government, the closest group are the civil servants, because they may not be in government, they work with the government. So possibly that's why the palliative will possibly have to reach them first. After all, they are closer to the oro or the osan, like Yoruba will say. Èyàn ò lè wá ń di oro kó máa mu ìtí ò da and things like that. So they are closer to the oro, so they are likely, as it drops from the tree, the fruit drops from the tree, they are likely to get at least their own portion first. And that is some of what we have heard from states. Some states have declared 10,000 naira monthly palliative allowance to their workers, pending the time there will be a review on the minimum wage. That has happened in some states, that they will be giving their workers 10,000 naira allowance for transportation, for inflation, and the rest of them. But we are still using this medium to call on the government that it is not only the civil servant that should receive palliative. The government should work harder to ensure that palliative should come to more Nigerians. Yes. And the direct transfer of cash that the government say they want to give Nigerians in terms of 8,000 naira per month for the next 6 months, many of us, many Nigerians are still putting a question mark on that what are the conditions that the government will use to send that money. Who is the poorest of the poor? Who is that person? What is the name of that person? And what the detail of that person? What exactly, how do we know that the money will get to the right hand and not into private purse, as many had alleged it was happening before? This is why a lot of Nigerians have been clamoring that it is better the government use all this money recovered or gained from the subsidy remover to, the government should use it to do things that will be of general benefit instead of specific benefit. And this information is saying Nigeria is the only petroleum producing nation that has no functioning refinery. Or maybe we say the major one, so to say. The only petroleum producing nation that has no functioning refinery. And why is this so? Why is this so? Now, we have this information that countries all around the world that are petroleum producing nation. Information is saying Saudi Arabia has 5 functioning refineries. Saudi Arabia. Russia, a petroleum producing nation, but it's like they have taken their own, they have turned it to more business. They are not using it just for themselves alone. Russia is having 44 refineries. Wow. Even if they give us just 4, the 4 on top, and we have just 4 functioning ones here, I think things will be better. Russia has 44 refineries. Kuwait has 2 functioning refineries. Iran has 3 functioning refineries. UAE has 4 functioning refineries. USA, United States of America, has 129 refineries. Wow. Those ones have turned into a lot of business. You see, it tells us that some of these countries, the imported finished PMS, petrol that we import into this country, that's where we get them from. Because it's like some of them have more than enough refineries to produce for them. China has 32 refineries. Iraq has 15 refineries. Canada has 15 refineries. Wow. Nigeria has 0 functioning refineries. We are talking of functioning. Nigeria actually has about 3, yes, refineries before Dangote refinery came. There was Port Harcourt refinery, there was Warri, and there was Kaduna refinery. But over the years, all the refineries, they've stopped functioning. Even the Dangote refinery were told we commence operation by end of July into August. Up till now, we still don't have the official information that the Dangote refinery had commenced operation. Venezuela refineries. Algeria, a country here in Africa, in the northern part of Africa, there are 5 refineries. So the excuse that Nigeria is in Africa is not tenable. Algeria has refinery and is in Africa. Libya, another country in Africa, has 5 refineries. Qatar has 2 refineries. Norway, a country in Europe, has 1 refinery. And this country, part of what we learned about them is that they add petroleum. The population is not much, and part of what they do in their own country is that money they are getting from petroleum that they don't need, they were investing it. Yes, they are investing the money for the future of their own children. And remember this also, countries like Saudi Arabia too, they've been investing, all the Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Qatar, they've been investing a lot of the petroleum money for the future of their children. They have investments in Europe, in America. You know, remember all these Arabian countries who had petroleum, they've invested a lot into sport. Many clubs in England, yes, in the English Premiership, belongs to them. It's part of their investment. Mexico has 6 refineries. Brazil has 19 refineries. India has 23 refineries. Wow. Angola, who came yesterday behind Nigeria, has at least 1 functioning refinery. Oman is a very small country, has 1 refinery. Indonesia has 6 refineries. Kazakhstan has 3 refineries. Germany has 16 refineries. Azerbaijan has 2 refineries. Wow. Though there are some countries I know that has petroleum but were not mentioned here. Niger had discovered crude oil. Ghana had discovered crude oil and they were not mentioned there. That means they too don't have functioning refineries, but it will not follow wisdom for us to be comparing ourselves with Niger and Ghana, because Nigeria had discovered crude oil since 1958 and we've been getting money from crude oil since the 1960s. And Ghana and Niger, less than 10 years ago that they discovered their own crude oil and they have been exploiting it. So that is the question about refineries and the Nigerian economy. However, part of the information that we have today says Tinubu, the president of the country Nigeria, assures of Port Harcourt refinery commencing operation in 2023. The TUC president, Trade Union Congress president, is the one that made us to know that the refinery in Port Harcourt will commence operation in 2023. How tenable is this assertion? The reason I was asking this question is that in last year, I think 2021, yes, 2021, the then Minister of State for Petroleum told us, Timipre Silva, said that by December 2021, the refinery in Port Harcourt will commence operation. But 2021 December came, that refinery did not start operation. 2022 came, that refinery did not commence operation. This is August 2023. Now, part of my issue is that what stopped the refinery from operating despite promises and assurances from the government? Those conditions, are they still not there? Will Tinubu be able to break the jinx? Will the government, the current federal government, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will he be able to break the jinx? Because each time successive government says they want to make these refineries work, it had not been working. But this time, will it work? Well, we are all in it. Let's see and let's wait. This one is talking about the Niger coup, the economic implication for Nigeria. Some of us may laugh that what is my business with Niger? Some of us may be saying, what's our business? What concerns us? Niger is far away. That is why we have this program, Eco Pointer, to tell us, to inform us and to educate us. Don't be surprised that a lot of grain that we eat in this country and a lot of cow that we eat in this country also come from Niger. Do you get what I'm saying? The corn, the guinea corn, the millet, the àgbàdo, the ọkà bàbà, the jero, all those grain that we eat in this country. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, part of what we use in this country, also come from Niger. Remember also, the reason we have high price of chicken feed is because corn became scarce. The production is not enough to meet the demand in Nigeria. That was why the price of chicken feed went up. And part of where Nigeria balanced the requirement of corn and grains, other grain, is from Niger. Niger do supply this country a lot of production, so they also use that to boost their own economy. Not only that, part of their major job there is animal rearing, cow rearing, cattle rearing. So plenty, a lot of the meat we eat here also come from that side. Now coming back to what's our business. There have been sanctions against Niger because of the coup that happened in that country recently. That is at the close of last month. Nigeria had close border with Niger. Nigeria don't want anything from Niger to come from into Nigeria, or anything from Nigeria to go into Niger. Now, if Nigerian, if price of corn go up, the price of chicken feed will also go up, and the price of chicken will go up. The price of cow will still go up higher than the current prices that we have. That is the implication. Tijani Fatima Bello, thank you so much for being there. Tijani Fatima Bello say, may Almighty God take total control of this Nigerian economy. I say amen too. And this information that says Nigerians are complaining of the economic policy decisions of the current administration and what are the policies, the floating of the naira, the removal of fuel subsidy. Those are the major two. But as we speak, the World Bank is praising the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The World Bank is saying is doing what is right, is taking decision in the right direction. Now my question about that is that which one should be more tenable? Who should the president and the government listen to, the World Bank or Nigerians? And before we round off, the government of Oyo State had said they have declared the reduction in the prices of the transport fare charged by the state government-owned transport system. They say they have reduced the prices and so that things will be convenient for people. Remember, Lagos state government did a similar thing last week, where they say from August 2nd, which was last week Wednesday, people begin to board the BRT buses at a fare that is 50% less than the normal price. The Oyo state government too has taken decision in that direction, informing the people in Oyo state the prices they will pay for the Omi Tuntun transportation system will be lower than how much they've been paying before. You see, while you are trying to solve an economic problem, another one begins to come up. The state government said they will get more buses to pick people, to ferry people from one place to another in order to solve the transportation problems. The state government also said they will provide more buses to ply the routes where the Omi Tuntun bus had not been plying before. Now the question is this: there are people who are into private transportation business, the Okada riders, the Micra taxi drivers, the commercial buses, who have been plying all these roads. The government said they want to put buses, and these people, they are earning their living, they are feeding their family from doing that transportation business. If the government, or let me say as the government reduce the fare in a lot of routes, and people are not joining the private commercials to transport themselves, people now join the government buses. If the private commercials are not getting money to take care of themselves, to feed their family, the new route the government said they want to put their buses, if the government bus, you remember Okada rider will carry 2 people at a time in Ibadan here, sometimes 1 person, but the long government bus will carry about 50 at the same time. Now, if the long government bus carry 50 and take them away, that means they have taken away the business of at least 25 Okada riders. Those ones will not have money to feed their own family because the government bus is there. The question now is this: another problem is it not coming? Is it not that government is taking away business from some people? If the government take away business from them, it means government is not taking care of their welfare indirectly. Or will the government be feeding their family, which we all know will not work? Government cannot be feeding anybody's family. So as much as the government is saying they want to get more into transportation, to reduce fare, to place buses, it seems they are creating another economic problem for people who are in the transportation business. Yes, somehow. So this is part of the question when it comes to economic, that the government, as much as they are trying to help people, they should help people in a way not to be directly involved in business, so that business people will also not come back to suffer. Because the same business people that the government is taking away business from, their own customer away from, the government will still come back to them to collect tax. Government will still come back to them to collect tickets. Government will still come back to them to say they should pay this money and that money. And government, the same government are taking their customer. So it becomes a dilemma situation. So the government should think it well and think it through in the decision that they are making. All right. On this note, we shall be calling it quits on today's program, Eco Pointer. We appreciate you so much for being there. Thank you for connecting to us and being part of this program. And I appreciate Oladimeji, my producer, who have been there ensuring you can get connected to us very clearly. And my appreciation goes to the management of Success Radio Ibadan, who has given us the opportunity to be able to connect to you and to connect the information back to you. We shall be connecting back again on this program, Eco Pointer, by next week, Tuesday, by 10 a.m. in the morning. And remember, connect me again by Sunday, by 5 p.m. in the evening on your program, School of Marriage Secrets. My name is Kolawole Kayode. See you again next time.